Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining me for this new episode of Inspiring Our World. And today we're going to talk about stress and the mighty trio: immunity, mental clarity, and mobility. Stress is the body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. When you sense danger, whether it's real or imagined, the body's defenses kick into high gear in a rapid, automatic process known as the fight or flight reaction, or the stress response. When working properly, the stress response protects us and allows us to stay focused and alert. For example, to avoid a car accident, we might slam on the brakes as our stress response. In this way, stress is a positive part of our lives. Too much stress, however, can cause major damage to our bodies and minds, not only to health, but also to mood, productivity, relationships, and overall quality of life. Stress can definitely put a damper on the pursuit of an active wellness lifestyle. The varying levels of stress can be likened to a spectrum. At one end is eustress, the manageable levels of stress that help tackle challenges at work, school, or in relationships. Eustress does not necessarily feel comfortable, but it is useful and can help us succeed. At the opposite end of the spectrum is distress. This is the type of stress that is destructive. It disrupts sleep and creates undesired tension, mood disorders, and a negative outlook. Distress can occur when we're too busy at work, owe money, are grieving, or suffering any type of painful loss. Our personalities and perspectives on how we work, compete, or play can affect whether stress takes the form of eustress or distress. For example, if there is a looming deadline and it worries or overwhelms us, we're going to experience distress. If that same deadline creates a sense of excitement about the ensuing outcome, we would experience eustress. We therefore are somewhat in control of the stress we live with, but we cannot foresee the future or the unknown. When we get stressed out frequently, the body exists in a heightened state of anxiety most of the time. That can lead to serious health problems, since chronic stress disrupts nearly every system in the body and its functions. It can suppress the immune system, upset the digestive and reproductive systems, increase the risk of heart attack and stroke, and speed up the aging process. It can even rewire the brain, leaving us more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and other mental health problems. Chronic stress occurs because stress is sneaky. It can creep up on us, and we get so used to feeling stressed out that we don't even notice its ill effects until they manifest in disturbing ways. That's why it's important to be aware of the symptoms that chronic stress can cause. The three main areas that stress impacts are immunity, mental clarity, and mobility. We need a strong immune system to fight disease, but stress weakens the body's defenses. Stress can reduce the number of natural killer cells or lymphocytes in the body, which are needed to fight viruses, according to the American Psychological Association. It makes us catch colds or the flu more easily, for example. Chronic stress can produce higher than normal levels of the hormone cortisol. This can hamper the body's anti-inflammatory response and cause continual infections, according to recent immunology research studies. Issues with mental clarity include memory problems, inability to concentrate, poor judgment, persistent anxiety, runaway thoughts, constant worrying, moodiness, irritability, and depression. Mobility is affected when stress causes pain, tightness, soreness, or spasms in the muscles. According to the American Psychological Association, muscles tense up during stress. When the stress is gone, the muscles then relax and release the built-up tension. Other physical symptoms include skin breakouts, irregular heartbeats, fluctuating weight, trouble sleeping, indigestion, and other digestive issues. If inflammation is persistent and widespread, it can contribute to chronic diseases, including the buildup of plaque on the arterial walls. This is just one of the many factors at play in the complex relationship between stress and the heart. Stress is related to heart rhythm abnormalities, high blood pressure, stroke, and asthma. Lung conditions include shortness of breath and rapid breathing. Knowing our stress triggers can help us deal with them more effectively. Here are a few ways to cope with stress. Exercise. Regular exercise is known to improve moods and relieve stress. Rhythmic exercises such as walking, running, swimming, and dancing are particularly effective, especially when focusing attention on the physical sensations of each movement. Make human contact. In this day and age of electronic devices, we often spend more time with screens than with people. The simple act of talking face-to-face with another human can trigger hormones that relieve stress. Even a brief exchange of kind words or a friendly look from another human being can help calm and soothe the nervous system. Use the senses: sight, sound, taste, smell, touch. The key is to find the sensory input that works best for each individual. Does listening to an uplifting song produce calmness? Is the scent of a favorite flower soothing? Research has shown that the act of petting a dog or a cat not only comforts the animal, but also the human. Everyone responds to sensory input a little differently, so finding the best use of any of the 5 senses can be a fun experiment. Relax. Some people are good at letting go of stress at the end of the day and can relax. Others need to consciously practice the art of relaxation. Yoga, meditation, and deep breathing activate the body's relaxation response, a state of restfulness that is the polar opposite of the stress response. When practiced regularly, these activities can help reduce everyday stress levels and boost feelings of joy and serenity. They also may increase the ability to stay calm and collected under pressure. Eat healthy food. You are what you eat doesn't need to be taken too literally, but it does hold truth. Food can improve or worsen moods and affect how we cope with life stresses. Eating a diet full of processed and convenience food, refined carbohydrates, and sugary snacks can worsen symptoms of stress, while a diet rich in fresh fruit and vegetables, high-quality protein, and omega-3 fatty acids can help us cope with life's ups and downs. Get enough sleep. Feeling tired can magnify stress. Getting restful sleep can be tricky because chronic stress can disrupt sleep. Making the sleep environment as comfortable as possible and adhering to a sleep cycle that allows for 6 to 8 hours can be helpful. The pursuit of active wellness includes finding adequate ways to cope with stress. I think this is such an important topic in our world right now, given the last few years. I've actually just been studying something about resilience, which has been fascinating with Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton. talking about ways to really cultivate the resilience of our body, mind, and spirit. You know, there are lots of different ways, and I think in our global wellness community, we can all give each other super ideas of things that maybe somebody else has never thought of. Of course, we covered a lot of ground here. I mean, for me, I have to say getting out into nature is so key because, gosh, the colors are so calming, the sounds, the streams, the ripples, the trees, the sun, that helps us with vitamin D, of course. But, you know, it doesn't matter what we're doing out there, walking, maybe bicycling, snowshoeing, skiing, running, jogging, whatever it is. Sometimes I just go out to take photographs and get just entranced by the beauty of nature. That is very de-stressing for us. Of course, being barefoot on the earth really helps as well. Music, that's such a major one, right? You know, finding the music that you find calming and listening to music, playing music. I mean, I love to sit down and play the piano. It just de-stresses me right away. It puts me right into the present moment with the focus and concentration and the joy of making sounds with the piano or the clarinet. Singing is another one. You know, I love to sing sometimes early in the morning with kirtan singing, which is so beautiful, and just singing along, it's just so good and vibrates the entire body, and it's peaceful and loving. Of course, we talked about movement, and I mean, yoga, exercise, dancing, whatever it is that you love to do. It's so important. I love the free dance, freestyle. I'll often just put music on in my home and just dance around, and boy, is that so lovely and de-stressing. I think being creative is super helpful. So maybe you love to draw or do woodwork or paint or write, whatever it is you love to do that's creative. Cooking, that's a lovely one. That's also very de-stressing and fun. Being co-creative together with a partner is a wonderful thing to do. I think being still and silent and in solitude is a very calming thing for all of us, so that we can just sit and meditate or pray or whatever it is that we do that just centers us calmly and quietly within ourselves. That's super important. So I wonder what your methodologies are. You know, I think the key thing is to form healthy habits and not unhealthy habits. I mean, obviously things like substance abuse or junk food or whatever, that's just not going to help us. Getting angry in relationships, no, let's be peaceful and calm and joyful and in our highest vibration of those frequencies of joy and love, of course, and peacefulness. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Inspiring Our World, and please do go and follow this on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And please do share this with others. Maybe it'll give them some ideas. Of course, the wellness home is just so huge, isn't it? As a de-stressor, wellness office, wellness car, everything, our wellness environment, that is so much what we teach in Nikken. So have a wonderful week, everyone. And thanks so much for joining me again. And we will connect again next week. All the very best and many blessings to you. Bye for now.